This is ABC15 Mornings.
Lori Daybell going by a new name as she faces a judge in the case of her two missing kids. We have new developments and what comes next for you this morning.
Pulled over for an air freshener, a traffic stop by an Arizona sheriff's deputy raising eyebrows. ABC15 investigators learning he's done similar things before.
Problem after problem, and now a water utility company in the valley is apologizing to customers again, all while trying to raise their rates. So we're going to dig into that and unpeel the layers and the long history with that company. But we do thank you for waking up early with us. 6 o'clock on this Saturday. I'm Nohelani Graff.
And I'm Justin Pizzera. If you have plans this Saturday, the weather's going to cooperate with you. Maybe a little toasty. You said yesterday it was close to 90. No wonder I was so hot. I didn't realize it.
Yeah,
it
was the warmest day that we've seen so far this year. The almanac showing us it was 86 yesterday in Phoenix. Our low was only 59 degrees. The average for this time of year should be the mid 70s. We still didn't hit the record, which was 92, but more temperatures that are warmer are on the way today. Right now, we have 50s across much of the valley. We even have some starting off in the 60s this morning, 63 in Fountain Hills, 61 in the Deer Valley neighborhoods, and we're going to continue to stay warm throughout the day. So this is a nice cool morning if you want to get a hike in. Then that sunrise is at 6:48 this morning. If you're hiking during the middle of the day, be mindful that burn time is just 30 minutes, and even if you wait for a sunset hike, it's still going to be toasty, 81 degrees. That's not even the high temperature for today. I'm going to go over that coming up in that full forecast in just a bit.
Well, she's the mom with Valley ties facing charges in Idaho over her two missing children, and this morning, exclusive video appearing to show some special treatment here. Our camera's rolling as a side jail entrance was used instead of the normal front entrance for other inmates. So Lori Vallow now wants to be known as Lori Daybell. Inside an Idaho courtroom, she was made up. She was wearing bright red lipstick. She was also wearing pink handcuffs.
And we're getting a first look at her there so you can see the makeup there. The judge actually reducing her bond from $5 million down to $1 million. So now our ABC 15's Claudia Rupsich is in Rexburg, Idaho to show us what comes next.
We're expecting Lori and her husband Chad to go through a bondsman, which means they only have to pay 10% of that bail, $100,000. It's very likely she'll post bond, and if she does, there's some restrictions. She can't leave the 4 surrounding counties, and she has to wear an ankle monitor.
Lori Vallow Daybell, arraigned in Idaho on 5 counts in connection to the disappearance of her children. JJ Vallow was last seen at school in Rexburg on September 23rd. Police say the last record they have of Tylee was at Yellowstone National Park on September 8th.
So with that, bail will be set at $1 million.
Daybell walked in with a slight smile on her face, looking around in full makeup and bright lipstick. Her husband, Chad, sitting a few rows behind her with his attorney. Inside and outside the courtroom, more than 100 people were following that hearing. Some BYU students, some Rexburg locals who find the case fascinating, most looking for answers.
Tylee and JJ. So we're just here to show our support for them, and we hope that we get answers today for them and that we get to know their whereabouts.
Lori's son, Colby Ryan, has tried to stay out of the spotlight, but says he's here for his siblings and he wants to speak to his mom.
So where are my brother and sister? Can't be that hard to answer.
JJ's grandparents, Kay and Larry Woodcock, reminding everyone what this is about.
It's not whether I like Lori. It's not whether I like Chad. This is about finding 2 children.
Lori's preliminary hearing is set for March 18th and March 19th. Reporting in Rexburg, Idaho, I'm Claudia Rupsich, ABC 15 Arizona.
It is a traffic stop that's getting a lot of attention. A sheriff's deputy pulling over this black man because of this right here, his air freshener. So now our ABC 15 investigators are learning that deputy has been fired.
Mr. Cobra, when's the last time you did smoke marijuana?
I never smoked.
Never?
I just said that.
So this happened in La Paz County, where the sheriff's office there confirms Deputy Eli Max is now off the job. He pulled over Philip Colbert and then repeatedly accused him of being on drugs without any evidence. It is something ABC 15 investigator Dave Biskobing discovered that officer has done to other people as well.
Yeah, how many times do you think he asked you about the marijuana?
Over 10 times.
Our parting words were, I know you're under the influence of something. I just can't prove it. And I said, you know something? How many times can you be wrong about the same thing in one day?
The sheriff's office declined to release more information or any records, saying that that firing is also now under appeal. This morning, an accused killer is behind bars after a 15-year-old was gunned down at Desert Sky Mall on Tuesday. Family and friends, though, gathering to remember Anthony Castillo.
Anthony, we love you!
Now, this story is just so hard to wrap your brain around. Friends and family telling us that Anthony just loved basketball and he loved shoes, and that's actually why he was at the mall last week. He was there to buy a new pair of Nikes, but that's when detectives say the 15-year-old had some type of confrontation with Damon Hayes, a 28-year-old who's a convicted felon, who then allegedly punched Anthony and then pulled out a gun and shot him.
He always liked making people laugh. He always liked bringing his sister to the park.
To be able to go to the mall, you're 15 years old and you get shot in the face.
And it broke my heart.
Dumb.
Because he didn't deserve to pass away.
Yeah, that's not something you ever think is going to happen to you, just going to the mall to pick out sneakers. Family members telling us Anthony's organs were able to be donated, so he will save at least 5 lives.
Coronavirus in Arizona. We are tracking the latest this morning. Right now, there are 3 total cases, 2 of them active, one of them the first case of community spread in our state. So here's what we know at this point. This latest patient is a woman. She's a healthcare worker in her 40s, currently in the hospital in stable condition. She does live in Pinal County, but works in Maricopa County. Our entire community, of course, is concerned about this. We've heard of many stockpiling shoppers buying those basic goods in bulk, while others worry places like urgent care facilities may not be ready to handle coronavirus patients if they walk through the door.
And you need to go be seen at an urgent care or an emergency department, please call that facility before showing up so that they can take appropriate precautions to keep you away from other patients and to protect their healthcare workers.
Well, right now, Arizona has testing kits from the CDC, and next week, private companies like LabCorp will get them and begin testing as well.
Scammers are on the hunt also to exploit the coronavirus situation. Attorney General Mark Brnovich wants to make sure that Arizonans are in the know. You need to watch out for fake emails because they're going to look like they're from the CDC, but they have bad links attached to them. Also, you do not want to invest or buy any products that claim to prevent coronavirus. That's not a thing. The CDC says there is currently no vaccine, and the best prevention is simply to wash your hands with soap and water. One more common scam that can circulate: fake GoFundMe pages or even fraudsters posing as victims. If you do think that you've been scammed, you can and should file a complaint with the Attorney General's office. And you can stay up to date with the latest developments because there are many of them and they are coming rapidly, and we are tracking it all on our website. Just head to abc15.com/coronavirus. Now, the coronavirus is not the only health concern. The flu has had a major impact on our state. And in fact, ABC 15 just learning that a third pediatric flu death has now been reported in Arizona for this season. No other details have been released, but the CDC is reporting that 136 children have died this flu season across the country, and hospitalization rates among kids up to 4 years old are now the highest on CDC record. Hospitalizations among school-age children and young adults are also up.
An ADOT worker hit and killed while setting up a sign along I-10, and now we're hearing from his supervisor and friend. So the crash happening south of Chandler near Casablanca Road. We're told the driver swerved to avoid rear-ending another car, but then crashed into Frank DeZorio. He was part of ADOT's Incident Response Unit, a tight-knit group tasked with setting up traffic signs, removing debris, and helping stranded drivers. His supervisor telling ABC 15 Frank was one of ADOT's best.
Friendly, everybody liked him, was happy that he was on their team, was always willing to help, and he was like that all the time.
So that crash also serving as a reminder to be careful when driving in work zones. ADOT displaying this message to reinforce that important warning. Remembering fallen officer Paul Rutherford, today his peers are hoping to raise enough money so they can go to the Fallen Officer Memorial in Washington, D.C. to see his name added to the wall. Officer Rutherford was killed in the line of duty last year when he was hit by a car. That fundraiser is at the department's air support unit. That's near Deer Valley Road and 7th Street from 9 until 2. And now to the story that has a lot of people talking. An earthquake hits Baja California. A lot of folks here in the valley feeling that one, right?
They did. I was in the East Valley, so I didn't feel it, but I know people closer to downtown Phoenix certainly did. The earthquake itself was a 5.5 magnitude quake, and it hit right near the California-Arizona border. So this map that you're looking at is from the USGS, and it shows who reported even feeling the earthquake. That's all those blue little boxes there. Some, including our own ABC15 Allison Rodriguez, felt it in downtown Phoenix.
All of a sudden, I'm just laying there, and I'm rocking, and I'm on the phone with my husband, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's an earthquake right now. And the rocking stopped, but I still felt a little shaking.
Now, people in Yuma reported about 30 seconds of shaking. And what's interesting from Allison's perspective is, you know, she just got here after living in San Francisco for a time. And I think she maybe felt one tremor while she was there. So she had to come back to Arizona.
Gets to Arizona.
And of course feels the earthquake.
Yeah. I've covered them here before too.
Yeah, they do happen, but it always kind of catches you a little off guard. And obviously it's not something that we can predict, you know, here that's, you know,
certainly
coming.
Don't expect it.
Yeah, exactly. So just another view of the map to show you kind of where that was. So as we zoom in, that's where it happened, where the yellow is on that Arizona-California border, down on the Baja Peninsula there. And then just figure distance-wise, it's 55 miles to Yuma. So for everybody who felt it in Yuma, that's why they felt it for about 30 seconds. And they felt what would be the equivalent of a 3.5 magnitude quake down in the southern portion of our state. So that's a big ripple effect to feel it then in downtown Phoenix. Now for today's forecast, 84 today. It's going to be a little toasty out there tomorrow, a little bit more relief, 74 our forecast high. So we've got some big changes coming that start tomorrow already. We will have some breezes in the forecast that should help just a bit today. I'll show you what to prepare for coming up in that full, most accurate forecast.
He's just a hero to us all.
A lasting legacy, Tempe Fire honoring a fallen firefighter and his cancer fight. And a moving nightmare, a woman fighting to find her stuff for the last 6 months. Can you imagine this? Coming up, some of the red flags you should watch before moving.
Also making another error, why one Arizona water company is now apologizing to thousands of customers while also considering a new rate increase. So it's a small town utility company that has been making headlines, well, for years now after dozens of consumer complaints.
From overbilling to double billing, we're talking about sewage leaks, bad smells coming from sewer lines. Now, this company wants to raise customers' utility rates.
We are talking about Johnson Utilities in Santan Valley. ABC15 Sotawasu is looking into what they need this money for and what customers have to say about it.
It's something many of us take for granted, but for Santan Valley resident Michael Cohen, seeing water flowing out of a tap like this is a luxury. For years, Cohen says, he's had to deal with water pressure so low,
to a point where we were not able to even do dishes or shower or take a bath.
Like so many others in Pinal County, Cohen says all he wants is good quality water and a reliable company. Over the years, he's one of many who have filed complaints against Johnson Utilities. Today, he tells us, he's lost trust in their ability to serve his community.
What is it going to take for Johnson to rebuild and regain your trust?
I honestly don't think Johnson can. I think a different company has to take them over. I think Johnson Utilities, as such, should be put out of business.
After years of what customers call poor treatment and bad service, there's still a lot of anger towards Johnson Utilities. Some still blame the Arizona Corporation Commission for dragging their feet and not listening to their concerns for years.
I'm Nick Myers, and I'm a candidate for the Arizona Corporation Commission.
It's what has inspired this Santan Valley man to run for office.
Ultimately, it was a long path of dealing with Johnson Utilities.
A long fight that finally changed course when the Corporation Commission stepped in and appointed another company, EPCOR, to take over management of Johnson Utilities, something that's never been done before. Customers we spoke to say It's been a good first step.
In my opinion, they are working very hard and they are doing things that they need to do to rebuild the trust. There's still a lot of animosity. There's still a lot of work that needs done.
But are they ready to give their utility company the rate increase they're now asking for? Customers we spoke to say not so fast.
If you have an employee that's not doing their job, do you give them an increase?
Some customers worry what happens when EPCOR leaves and Johnson Utilities is back in control. We reached out to the utility company to ask them what they need this money for. EPCOR officials tell us the money is needed to improve and upgrade utility infrastructure in Santan Valley. The company is still operating on rates set in 2007. If approved, the rate increase would add $3 to $15 to an average customer's bill.
The Arizona Corporation Commission will have to approve this rate case. If that happens, you can expect to see public hearings coming up in the near future. Sonu Basu, ABC 15, Arizona.
All right, let's talk about that most accurate forecast now, about 20 minutes past the top of the hour. It's a packed weekend. There is so much to do, but this is our festival season, and we're starting to feel why. This is that bragging rights weather.
I have to say, though, yesterday was just a little, it was beautiful, but I did not realize walking around that it actually was close to 90.
It's that first round of warmer temperatures as we get closer, so it does make you appreciate these morning temperatures maybe a little bit more when they're more mild. So the almanac for today, our projected high is 84 degrees, so that's 2 degrees cooler than it was yesterday, but still a little warmer in the mid 80s. Our average for this time of year should be 85, so it's about a 10-degree difference, so we're definitely above average right now. Temperatures this morning as you wake up also more mild across the southern and western portion of our state, especially. We're starting the morning off in the mid 60s out in Lake Havasu City, 65 for you. Good morning to all of our viewers out there. It's 57 in Bullhead City right now. In Prescott, 43 degrees for you, so you finally are starting morning off not in the 30s, but it's certainly still chilly out there if you're taking the dog out for a walk this morning. It's 52 in Sedona. Flagstaff starting off in the 20s this morning. Show low at 45 degrees here in the Phoenix metro area. We're in the 60s. 61 is our current forecast right now, our current temperature, I should say. We are seeing some breezes in Kingman this morning at 14 miles an hour, a light breeze in Phoenix at 7 miles an hour, Gila Bend 13 miles an hour, and we're going to continue to see the winds carry over from yesterday into today. They'll be just a little bit lighter here in the valley, but still breezy, around 10 to 15 miles an hour. So you're going to notice the palm trees are blowing. That should bring a little bit of relief for any of our activities that we're doing outside today. Up in northern Arizona, slightly different story. It's going to be rather windy up there, 10 to 20 miles an hour, gusts up to 30 miles an hour at times. So just make sure that you're hanging on to your hats. I think it's a baseball cap and ponytail kind of day up in the high country. It's also NASCAR weekend continuing out at Phoenix Raceway this morning. Those temperatures are mild for any of our campers out there, waking up in the 60s. By 9 a.m., we're still in the 60s, but by 10, we warm into the 70s, upper 70s by noon. It is going to be warm out there today as we continue to cross over into the 80s. So we're looking at a high of 84 out in Goodyear, 82 in Buckeye, 84 in Levine. In Central Phoenix, 84 is the forecast high in Tempe, 83 in Glendale. Mesa warming to 84. Same temperature in Gilbert, Queen Creek at 83 degrees for today. We'll see more 80s to our south, 82 in Casa Grande and Gila Bend, 80 in Yuma. If you're heading up to the Red Rocks today, 67 the forecast high in Sedona. That's where you'll find kind of that Goldilocks weather. Not too hot, not too cold, just right. And mostly sunny skies up there today. North of the rim, though, cooler, 55 in Flagstaff with those breezy conditions. Show low warming into the low 60s for today. Then we put a slight chance, 10% chance of rain in the forecast for your Sunday. I think these will be spotty, scattered showers, more like a sprinkle, and it'll be in the second half of the day, more towards the evening. But then we're tracking another system, and so we're calling Tuesday and Wednesday weather action days. Tuesday and Wednesday, we've got a 60 and then 70% chance of rain in the forecast. That's not going to cool our temperatures much more past tomorrow. Tomorrow's the big temperature dip down into the 70s, and then we stay in the 70s for the next couple of days. I'll talk more about the timing of that rain system, though, Tuesday and Wednesday, and how much rain we're talking about coming up in that 7-day forecast, Justin.
All right, thank you, No. Hey, as coronavirus concerns continue, changes one of our senators wants to see made now to fight the spread. I sit down to talk exclusively to Senator Kyrsten Sinema. Plus, Run, Party, Celebrate, how you can help Arizonans break a world record and embrace Irish heritage at the same time. So So are you looking for something to do next weekend? You can try the 10th annual Fulton Homes Kiss Me, I'm Irish Run.
So we have some special guests with us this morning. We want to introduce Rosario with Fulton Homes and also Marla, who is the CEO of POP, which is Prostate On-Site Project. Thank you, ladies, so much for joining us this morning. So let's talk a little bit about the event because it's a full weekend of events, but the main piece is this run happening Saturday and Sunday. So what's that all about?
Well, the Fulton Homes Kiss Me I'm Irish Run starts with a kilt.
Love the name also, Kiss Me I'm Irish Run.
Starts with a kilt run where as many people as possible will try to set a world record running in kilts. That happens Friday. Who knew? Running in kilts, right?
There you go. Why not?
And then Saturday morning, there's a half marathon. There's a half, there's a 8K, and there's a 4K, and you can run with your dogs.
Oh, that's
so
fun.
It's fun, very family friendly.
That's really good. Where are we talking about? Where are these runs going to happen?
They're all going to happen in Westgate.
Oh, very nice.
Beautiful area.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
And so this project, though, you guys have a mission as well. Is that right?
That is correct.
Yes, we do. Our mission is to bring awareness to men, educate them on the importance of early detection of prostate cancer. We will have our mobile units there on Saturday morning, providing free prostate cancer screenings to men.
How long does that normally take? If somebody's there and they want to get an exam, how long is that?
10 minutes from beginning to end. And they get their results within a few days. And it's so important for men 40 and over to get screened because it is a silent killing disease. And caught early, it can save lives.
Yeah.
Well, and you know, I'm speaking from personal experience. So my stepdad survived prostate cancer about 10 years ago. One of my best friends, her dad, has recently been diagnosed with prostate cancer as well. But with men, it's one of those things, it's hard to get them in the office. So do you find that doing an event like this helps a little bit, it helps normalize it and kind of forces them, their wives are right there and just go in there, go get checked right now?
Absolutely. We travel the state of Arizona. We go to many, many different businesses. We screened over 3,000 men this year. And being mobile, that we can pull up to a business or an event, they can get in, get out, and they don't have to take a day off work, and they get the screening done within 10 minutes. And we save lives. 1 in 7 men are getting prostate cancer in their lifetime.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
So it's important that you guys are doing this. I do want to get back to this kilt run, though. This world record that you guys are trying to set. So just show up in your kilt and take a run. How many people are you guys going to need to set this world record?
We're expecting 2,300.
2,300,
yes.
And that would get us a world record.
That would get us a world
record. That would put Arizona on the map.
To qualify, you've got to verify it as an actual kilt.
Well, they are giving away kilts, so that's part of the perks.
Okay.
And for more information, you can go to IrishRunAZ.com.
That makes it really easy. That if you are wearing underwear, it's a skirt.
I suggest
That's the difference.
But I mean, what are you going to do?
No?
Oh.
'Tis the season, though. Kiss me, I'm Irish.
If it's a little warm, I guess.
We've got the Scottish Fest happening this weekend, so you can go find all those guys and recruit all of them. They're going to be prepared already, too. Okay, great way to get involved, great cause, and of course, we have so many runners across the valley. Why not get involved? Ladies, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you, and we'll see you out, men, for your prostate cancer screening.
We'll be back after the break.